to do a video for all my running friends out there. So we have the Cardiff Half Marathon coming up, and whilst sort of longer runs have been happening and people are starting to taper, you might feel a little bit stiff and sore in your muscles and your joints after those long runs. So I'm going to give you a mobility routine. So it's something just to help loosen off the joints, loosen off the muscles, make you feel fabulous for race day. So come down onto the mat, and the first thing I want you to do is just pop your arms by your side, bring your feet to the edge of the mat, and we're going to lower both the knees towards one side, so a windscreen wiper action. So you're just pausing whilst the knees go down. What you're trying to do is keep your shoulders back and trying to keep that rib cage down as well. So you're trying to keep the upper body sort of stable and just move from the waist. So really try and get your knees down towards the floor, but without lifting up the rib cage or the shoulders. And you're just moving your legs from side to side, feeling the stretch through sort of the hip, the thighs. And then bring both your feet together, so feet and knees together, and then you're just going to roll both knees over to one side. This time your thoracic spine will come up, back to the middle, and then roll to the other side. Now it's really key as you go from one position to the other, you use your abdominal muscles, you engage your abdominal muscles as you lift your legs. That will protect your back. I'm just rolling and just pausing from one side to the other. And then bring yourself back. And then I want you just to bring one knee towards your chest. Let the other leg go down. So straighten that leg. Really try and engage your thigh muscle to keep your knee straight as you then bend and straighten this top leg. So you're keeping your thigh close to your chest and you're bending and straightening the knee. Now you may not be able to get a completely straight knee if your hamstrings are tight. And if, like me, you've got some degeneration around your kneecap, you might feel some grinding of your knee. So sorry if you can hear all that. And then try and keep your leg in the air. Reach down with your hands, bring your leg closer to your head if you can, but maintaining, so try and keep that quad engaged on the other side so you don't lift up that leg. So keep that leg nice and straight if you can, bringing this leg towards you. Doesn't matter if your knee is slightly bent. Point and flex the toes. And then just circle in one direction and then circle in the other direction. And then bring the knee in, bring your nose to your knee, give it a hug, and then pop that leg back down, and we're going to swap sides. So this time, grab hold of the opposite leg, keep the leg nice and straight, so really straighten the knee on the leg that is straight, hug the thigh nice and close to your chest as you bend and straighten that knee. So just mobilising the knee joint and stretching off the hamstrings. Keeping that leg nice and straight, the one that is along the floor. And then trying to straighten this leg if you can, and trying to bring the leg closer towards you. So reaching down towards your ankle as far as you feel you can. If your knee is not straight, it doesn't matter, but try and keep that other knee straight. Try and bring this leg towards you. Point and flex the foot. And then circles in one direction and circles in the other. Just mobilising the ankle and foot. And then bring that knee towards you, keeping it nice and straight. And then pop that back down. So I want you now just to bring both your knees up. Give yourself a little bit of a hug, a bit of a back massage. So maybe rolling your back from side to side. And then whilst you're here, grab hold of the inside of your feet. And then you're going to bring your legs up towards the ceiling. Allow your head to go back in a happy baby pose. So trying to push, almost like push the feet down so that you're bringing your knees closer towards your armpits. Trying to open up sort of the adductors. Again, if you want to sway side to side or do a little bit of rocking, that's okay as well. Whatever feels good. And then bring your feet back down. Use your abdominal muscles as you come out to that position. I want you really to sort of tuck the tailbone underneath you so that your back is flat. So you've got your core muscles engaged and your abdominal muscles engaged. As you then just allow your knees to open. So you can use your hands to push down on the thighs as well, just to allow them to open even further, or just let gravity open up your hips and feel the stretch through the adductor. Now it's important that you keep your back flat, that you don't arch your back in this position. So really use your abdominal muscles to keep your sort of trunk engaged whilst you just allow your hips to open up. And then bring your knees together. And then we're just going to turn onto our sides. So lie on your side, bend that bottom leg, bring your foot up so that your heel is coming up towards your bottom. Grab hold around your foot if you can. So we're stretching off the quad, but make sure you've got the alignment of the hip there. So you want your knee sort of level, so hip height. So you don't want your knee rotating in and you don't want your knee being high up in the air. So you want to keep your knee hip height, tense your buttock muscle and bring your heel towards your bottom. Just stretching off the quads. So you've got to use your core and use your buttock to stabilise whilst you feel that stretch. And if you want to bring your knee further backwards to get deep in the stretch as well, you can do that. But whatever, just work to your level, don't force it, but just keep the knee in that alignment. And then just gently release, and we're going to do the same on the other side. So come down onto your side, bring your heel to your bum, keep that bottom leg sort of bent, so that's just for stability. Try and have that nice straight line there with your knee and your hip. Try not to let your knee come up or sort of roll in either, so keep it parallel and in line with the hip. Bringing your heel towards your bottom, holding that stretch. And if you want to, you can even start bringing the knee behind you to sort of deepen the stretch as well. You should feel it all down the front of your thigh and around your knee. And make sure you've got that good alignment. Whilst we just pause in this stretch. Quads are horrible to stretch. And then bring yourself out. So we're now on our fronts, and we're just going to push ourselves up into extension just to sort of stretch off the back. If you need to stay onto elbows, if that is enough, stay here, or if you can come into a full cobra, And then maybe flex and extend the head. So just stretching off the back. And then bring yourself back down. Push yourself now into a child's pose position. So I want you to have wide knees. So feet are together, coming down, your bottom is coming down onto your heels. You're reaching long, head is coming down. So trying to sort of wiggle your bottom a little bit closer to your heels, trying to reach long with your fingertips. Pause in here. And then if you wiggle both your hands to the right hand side of the mat, just to feel that stretch through the left hand side of the body, keeping the head down. And if you've, like me, years of running, you've got stiff hips, stiff knees, your bottom may not be on your heels, and that's okay. It's work to your level, it's fine. Again, go to the left hand side of the mat. So now feeling the stretch through the right hand side of your body. Bringing yourself back and then thread the needle through. So left hand goes underneath the right armpit, palm is up. So you're still reaching long with that right hand and reaching those fingertips towards the top of the mat. And you're on the side of your head and side of your sort of shoulder. So stretches all the shoulder muscles out, upper back. Same on the other side. So bring the right arm underneath the left armpit. Wiggle that hand to the top of the mat. And you're on the side of your head, just looking underneath the armpit. And then just bring that back through. Bring your feet, your knees together. As you then just reach long in this position. So bum is towards your heels, reaching long. And then allow your forehead to come down to the mat and bring your arms by the side. Opening up the back. And then from here, come up into a kneeling position. Put your hands behind your back and just arch over. So let your head come back, squeeze your glutes, push your hips forward. And just allow yourself to open up through the front of the body. Bring your chin to your chest as you come back. And then I want you to bring one foot forward. So going into that runner's lunge, opening up the front of our body. So with your sort of foot on the front leg, I want you to try and bring, if you can, your knee sort of towards your toes a little bit more, just to keep your heel grounded and feel that sort of stretch through your soleus at the same time. So we're stretching through this back leg because we're opening up the hips, keeping our pelvis forwards, but we're also feeling that sort of stretch going through the soleus at the same time. So that front leg, you should feel a little bit of stretch going through here, and then on that back leg, you feel it going through the sort of hip flexor. And then I just want you to put your forearm on your thigh and reach up and over. Maybe even grab hold of your wrist and pull your arms over just to sort of open up that side a little bit more, keeping your pelvic bone pointing forwards though. And then just release the hands. Bring your body weight back on the back leg as you then straighten the front knee, feeling that hamstring stretch. And you can just sort of point and flex the foot as well, so just get a bit of mobility through the ankle and stretching through the calf. And then we're just going to swap sides, so bring the other leg forward. Now wiggle that front leg until you can feel the stretch through the back, sort of the hip flexor on the back leg. Keeping your pelvic bones pointed forwards, keeping upright through the spine. But try if you can to allow your knee to come sort of over your toes a little bit more. just so that you feel that stretch through the soleus muscle on that front leg as well. So now you should feel a stretch through the hip, through the front of the hip on the back leg, and a stretch through the soleus on the front one. Pop your forearm onto your thigh as you reach up and over. And then maybe even grab hold of your wrist. Oh, and see, you could go out of balance like I did. Grab hold of your wrist and then just pull a little bit deeper into the stretch, keeping your hip bones pointing forwards. So you're now just deepening the stretch on the side of your body. Allow your body weight now to come onto that back leg as you straighten the front one, and just point and flex that foot, feeling the sort of stretch through the hamstring and the calf. Bring that back. So we're now just going to go onto our fronts and do some downward dogs. If you bring your wrists in line with your shoulders, feet in line with your knees and hips, and then you're just going to push yourself up into a downward dog position. Try to push through the hands to get your bottom as high towards the ceiling as you possibly can. So you're trying to get your tailbone and your coccyx up towards the ceiling. And then you're just going to pedal your feet. So you bring in one heel down towards the mat and then the other. As you can see, my ankle range is really bad. I can't actually go very much into dorsiflexion. So my heels don't hit the mat, but you're aiming to get your heel down as close to the mat as possible. So pushing your weight through the heel, feeling the stretch of the back of the leg. So as one knee's bending, and sort of as the bent knee, you're actually stretching off your toes, and then the straight knee where your heel is coming down towards the floor, you're actually stretching off your calf and your ankle. So you're sort of mobilising both there, mobilising your toe joint, mobilising your ankle, stretching off the calves. Just pausing and holding. And then bring yourself out of that position. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit more mobile and flexible and not so stiff and achy. These sessions are great for after like your long runs or after speed sessions, and definitely after the half marathon. So yeah, good luck for everyone who is doing the Cardiff Half, and hopefully this is going to help you in your prep for race day and also your recovery after.